Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I am honored beyond words today to not just be doing something silly, but to be joined by two people who are on the ground in Myanmar currently. And thank you, Nora and Ryan, for being here so much.
We're honored to be here too, to be able to tell our story. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thank
By
you.
the way, just before we get started, all proceeds from this video will be going to to activists in Myanmar. There is a GoFundMe link in the description, which you can donate to. If you do super chats, those will also go to it. So, on that note, Nora and Ryan, if you want to, let's start out by just giving people maybe a basic overview of what's happening in Myanmar right now.
Yeah. So on February 1st, there was a coup that happened. The military took over the government when they were about to sit for their first parliament meeting. They had just had an election in November, and they were going to sit for the first time February 1st, and then the military decided that there was too much risk involved for them because the new government would potentially plan to change the constitution, which would limit their powers. It's a complicated situation, but currently we're about a little over a month into coup, which the people almost 100% are against.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it just seems like it's escalating horribly as time goes on.
Yeah, it's been bad. At first, it was very peaceful, but people are not sure what the military is thinking, why they did this, and kind of confused because things were going to get better now that the end of COVID was coming and the economy was about to bounce back. So, people are very confused why they would decide to do this at this point. So,
yeah. Oh my God. So you'd mentioned that basically almost everybody is opposing this coup attempt. Are there people who are supporting it? What are the groups involved? Is it pretty much unanimous that people are just like, no military junta here, please?
There is like a few people that are supporting because of their family members, or there are some people that they pay like a very small amount of money, or they pay like food to support them. It's very common right now. Yeah. So like they're showing that there's a lot of people that supporting them, but actually not, because those people are poor and they pay them to support them. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I would say
Most
that
of the people
maximum,
are opposite.
yeah, I mean, I'd say that maximum like 10 to 15% of the country
Yes.
might be for the coup versus 85% against it. So,
That's pretty overwhelming. And that sounds like a logistics problem to coordinate that many people who are resisting this quite horrifying attempt at state oppression. How are y'all communicating, coordinating? I don't know. I don't want to, have you divulge anything that would put anyone in danger, but we're curious
Sure.
about how you're making it work.
Actually, I don't want to talk about the platform, but we have like one chat box. There's 1,000 of students all together chatting for the what we're gonna do tomorrow or something like that. Yeah, we have a chat box about all of the things that we're gonna do.
Yeah, people are also using Facebook, even though that's
Yeah.
not very safe. But there's platforms that people are using that are more secure, encrypted, that they're using to communicate with each other nationwide. And pretty much, I've been amazed at how coordinated it's been. People have been pretty unified in what they decided to do and how they'll do it. And so people are communicating pretty clearly through those methods.
That seems like a huge positive. We'd been told when the person who helped arrange this meeting, Jake Doctor, told me that there's been a lot of mutual aid on the ground, and I was wondering about your experience with that. People coming together to help each other oppose this thing.
Yeah. So The first people to start striking were the doctors.
Mm.
And so that gave a lot of people a lot of hope right away, because the doctors are actually the ones that are considered the smartest in Myanmar, because they get the highest grades to be able to become a doctor. Uh, and so the doctors went on strike first, and so they've put a lot of their funds behind things as well. And then engineers went on strike, which are the second highest level. And then the teachers, university professors, all of them went on strike. And then they've called on other disciplines to go on strike as well, ministries and stuff like government offices to go on strike as well. And the funding has been coming basically from, for up to now, Myanmar individuals, nonprofit organizations that have been helping during the COVID crisis have kind of shifted focus from supporting people with food, supplies, things like that from COVID, to supporting people with supplies and food for CDM, civil disobedience movement. And so people have been funneling a lot of funds that way, pooling their resources and that sort of thing. So it's been pretty amazing. People have donated. Lots of people from every level of economic background has donated a lot.
That's really the community pulling together. That's really cool. What are things like day to day right now at this point, at a month in?
Now it's like we're protesting and doing some kind of self-defense when they try to shoot, and then when they come, or we just run away. So it's like it's going in circles. These things they're coming with a big gun. Sometimes it's even machine gun, and they're trying to shoot at the crowd. And yeah, student ran away, and if they got some of the students they arrested, could take them to the prison. Yeah. So that's the situation right now.
Yeah, people are quite active on social media to alert people. We're part of different groups, chat groups, that are telling people where police are at, on what street, when. People are doing Facebook Live to alert people on what street and what activities happening. And so it's been really amazing to watch the protesters. They'll get attacked from one side, they'll disperse and then reform and then go a different direction, and do that over and over again all day long. And so yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch. I've been down in it a little bit, not much, but it's been kind of cool to see how they're communicating and organizing. But in terms of day to day, it's you don't know what's going to happen when you wake up in the morning, what's going to happen that day. So it's like police and military could be near you. They could be in another township. They could be knocking door to door trying to find protesters. And so there's a lot of uncertainty of the average person, what's going to happen to them that day. If they're part of something, they might be arrested, dragged from their home at gunpoint. But yeah, just taking day by day and seeing how things go.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it seems like things, have escalated so quickly. Here in Portland, we had a lot of unrest over the summer, and it started kind of where y'all started. And then, we never had live ammunition. We never had the door-to-door stuff like that. And how have your tactics changed in light of this just unbelievable escalation of violence?
Do you want to speak to that, Nora?
Oh, yeah. So it was started with very peaceful, actually very peaceful protesting. And then it's been like a week or more, and they started shooting at a girl, 19 years old. And then it makes everyone very, why they shoot the girl? Because that girl trying to run away from the water cannon. And yeah, that's what made people thinking like, oh, maybe they're gonna start shooting more, and yet they started shooting more and more. And now students are more like, we're gonna have to self-defense ourselves, but we don't have any guns or not even like things that can make them very injured. So we're just trying to use some kind of smoke bomb, like a small one, and then like Coca-Cola and Mentos, just some kind of DIY small thing, because that's what we can do right now. And yeah, so we're not thinking about updating the tactic, because what we're relying more on the CPRH, which is our elected government. We're thinking about we're looking at what they're gonna do next. So we don't, because actually we don't want any violence at all, and we don't want everyone to see us like we are the one who's starting the violence, because they're good at spreading the news like, oh, the kids are starting the violence, so we have to control them. That's what they're gonna use as an excuse. We don't want that. And so we're trying to set defense in very, actually, very small things, like, I don't know, because the thing that we use towards they use towards us are like tear gas, and sometimes it's, yeah, real bullets, sometimes rubber bullets. Even rubber bullets is really make people injured.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things happening, but we're not thinking about anything yet. But more students are like, if we have to join the army, we're gonna join. So not this army, the ethnic army that we have. Yeah. Or if someone gonna form the army to fight them, we're gonna join. Anything, anything what we can do, we will do. Yeah.
In general, like tactics have changed. Like when police come to a neighborhood to arrest somebody, people beat pots and pans when they see the police coming to alert everybody. So people go on their balcony, they'll beat pots and pans, and then people from another neighborhood will come over and ask questions of the police, surround the police, ask lots of questions, and force them to leave. So there have been a lot of that happening. When they were coming into neighborhoods at first, people started putting barricades at the front of the street. So we have barricades at the front of our streets now in all of the neighborhoods. Some street has a metal barricade with razor wire at the top. And so during the day, they let you pass through. At night, they shut it and protect against the police to come in and take people.
Damn.
So there are things that they're doing on the streets too. Like one kind of funny thing is they printed off a bunch of pictures of the military dictator, the Min Online, and they posted it on the ground for because it's very disrespectful to walk on somebody's picture that is your boss or somebody of importance. And so they put the picture all over the ground in front of the protesters, so the police have to walk on his face. They've also Myanmar men are afraid of walking under women's clothing. They believe that if you walk under women's clothing, it'll steal your power. And so they've been stringing up like women's skirts above the street in front of protesters to kind of make them feel superstition. The police and military feel superstitious. So they're being creative. They're doing a lot of different things to try to slow things down, to make them think about what they're doing, and yeah, just lots of different.
Wow. Creative psychological stuff. That's incredible. We have a question in the chat, and I'm also curious about this. Somebody, Covo Dorado, asked how the Coca-Cola Mentos thing is working, and I'd like to know that also. What are you throwing it at the soldiers, or is it something else?
No, at them, because when they're coming, I don't know. We're just thinking like can be like buying a little time for them to take care of it. Yeah.
So leaving it in the road.
So that leaving on the road while they're coming to us. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're just buying time
I think it's
so that we
also
can
like
run and hide.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's also like a psychological thing. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
so they might like go, "Oh, what's that? Is that like harmful to me?" That sort of
Right.
thing.
Oh, that's interesting. It seems like a lot of this is really more psychological than anything, which is fascinating and seems very smart to me. That's very cool. Um, let's see
Yeah.
here. Yeah, wow. So what, I mean, you alluded a little bit to possibly a more organized resistance. What is the vision and the hope for the future here? Like what do you hope can come of all this?
So we
I'll let you.
have like
Yeah.
we want to change the two. Sorry. What we want is that we want to change the 2008 constitution. We want to get rid of this military dictatorship. We want to make that into small, and then we want a federal state. So that's what we want. So students are like, this time we're gonna do it till we get it. Because in '88 and 2007 we gave up. Yeah, we had because people are started like starving. They don't have enough money or they don't have enough tools because they're being so violent and aggressive towards people. So yeah, back then they gave us, but now, however the situation is, we're gonna continue fighting against them. That's what these uh, students are thinking, the leaders are thinking right now. Yeah.
Yeah. There's kind of a saying going around that says, um, "If we die, they die."
Uh-huh.
And so there's kind of a mentality among the young people that it's like there's no turning back at this point. And so they've kind of the general view is to starve the military out. So the general strike has basically closed all the banks. So all the banks are shut down. They are not operational at this point for now, almost for a month now, and the port's closed. Everything in the country is shut down, and so there's last week the military made an announcement that the banks had to open this last Monday, and none of them opened. And so, kind of the idea is just to ignore the military directives and listen to the elected government, which is still operating, and they'll probably set up something parallel, like parallel tax system, parallel offices, parallel everything. And people are thinking maybe they'll even set up a parallel army. And that's what Nora was talking about in terms of like people are willing to join the new army, possibly. But that's like last case scenario. Like we don't want that at all. Obviously, we want a peaceful transition. We want the military to come to the table and negotiate something to hand back power to the democratically elected government.
That makes sense. And it's interesting because, and I mean, I admit I've read about the Myanmar things that are going on. I haven't read every single article, but a lot of the emphasis, at least in American media, has been on the protests and the street violence and not on the general strike or on the idea that the government is still functioning. Where is the government operating? Are they still in the country or?
Yeah, they're still in the country. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
only
there's
just a few people.
just elected officials. There's a group of elected officials that have
Yes.
I think they just announced yesterday they appointed a vice president.
Yes.
And so there is the top official is in UK right now. The top elected official is in UK, and they have a group of individuals that are meeting, but we have no idea where they're meeting at. But they're sending out announcements of what they're talking about. So.
Yeah. Wow. And I mean, the general strike also, I mean, that sounds like a pretty big deal breaker if the country is shutting down. What has the Army's reaction to the strike part been?
They just keep giving directives that basically are like ultimatums, which people are ignoring. And so,
yeah, they're stealing the protester food. If we eat on the ground and we left our food, left over or things that we're not eating yet, they took it. The water bottle, they took it. So it seems like they're kind of, there's a shortage of food or with them too, that we can see because of the strike, because the bank are not open. Yeah.
Right. Wow. It's cool that you're already seeing that pressure on them. Is there a shortage of food for the protesters as well?
Yesterday I asked the leader, and he said the tools are important, and also the food are important because students, they don't have any salary. They're just going out and protesting. So the problem is, eating to buy food, stuff like that.
Gosh. Yeah. I mean, is there a way around that right now? Is it the support of the people that's helping, or is it a problem, like, or both?
Yeah, all the quarter and neighbors, they coming out and give the food, but cannot cover all the students that are protesting right now because we have at least 200 to 1,000 of students protesting. Yeah.
Wow.
just from the group, there's lots and lots nationwide, but
Yeah.
but in terms of food, like the banks are closed, so nobody has access to cash. We don't even have access. So, I mean, we don't have access. So, we have ways of getting money in the country, and organizations that can pass cash to us. We've set something up where we're bringing money in the country through those means, which are outside of the normal banking structure, because they have to be. And so we're doing that. We're looking at other options as well, like trying to get debit cards, pre-charged debit cards in to use, because the ATMs are still running. We just don't have access to cash to the bank, like the actual bank accounts. So there's definitely going to be a lot of people hurting soon because the banks are not open, and they're not going to open anytime soon.
Wow. Well, that leads to a question that's been asked in the chat, and a question that I was hoping to ask, and I think a question everyone would like to know. How can people help? What can we do?
Yeah, I mean, we're working with Jake with that link on the GoFundMe page, and basically the money will go toward protective gear and also food for protesters, and also civil servants. We want to support them too, so they don't go back to work. We want them to stay on strike, and so even if they can't protest, they're doing their part by not going to work, by shutting down services and stuff like that. So we want to support them as well and their families, because I think right now they can't get salaries as well if they're not working. So we want to support them as well, and so we're working with groups to get access to those people and get funds and food and stuff like that to them.
That makes sense. For everyone watching, the GoFundMe link is in the description below. It's the first thing, and we've raised quite a bit, but we could certainly raise more. If you haven't donated, consider donating. If you can't donate, consider sharing it. This is really important. Something else that's come out in the chat and that I was also hoping to ask is what is the best way for us to keep up to date on what's happening over there? I know that there's been some press suppression recently.
Yes, we're posting a lot on Twitter because we know that we'll get international attention from Twitter. Yes. And also we're posting a lot on Facebook, but I don't know, but Facebook is actually officially banned, but we're using some kind of things to use Facebook. So Facebook and Twitter is the main platform for us right now to post up-to-date news, but we're trying to get to the YouTube and trying to post some kind of it's a little violent video that they did to us.
after this video, I'll ask
you can find
both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Charles Ryan Russell on Facebook. There's a lot of Charles Ryan Russells, so I'll give the specific link to Claudio.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. If you both of you want to message me or Claudio with the with links that people can follow, Twitter stuff, I'll post it. We'll boost it because yeah, people should know. People should know what's going on. So.
Okay, great.
Great. Yeah. So that's. I mean, we've kind of sped through everything that I wanted to ask, but what do you think people? What would you like people to know about anything?
For the protesters, now they detain like a lot of students, and there's a girls and also boys, but it's been a week actually. My friends are there. It's been a week, and they still didn't tell anything. What are the charges? Why you keep them there? You know, something like no reason. We go with a lot of our school is DDM school. We're doing the civil disobedience movement. So yeah, students are there. We're worried what they're gonna do to them because they announced on their TV channel that they're gonna charge them with drugs. So we're thinking, are they gonna inject drugs into students or what they're gonna do? Yeah. Yesterday I saw that on news that some part of Myanmar, they beat the student, yeah, and also even girls. So yeah, we're worried about our students, so we want them out. You know, even they can do whatever they want to do on the street, but just let them go right for now because there's a lot of girls in there. That's what I want everyone to know because we don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
That's really scary.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate also that the EU, UN, the US, other ASEAN even, they've all come out and basically condemned the situation, but there's a lot of politics involved, and mostly it's connected to China connection to the region, and Myanmar has been a target of China for some time to put a basically infrastructure through Myanmar so that China can put their goods through the western part of Myanmar to the ocean, so they don't have to use other trade routes to get their goods out. And so Myanmar has an unfortunate situation where it could be basically long-term annexed into China because of the importance Myanmar is to China. And China has funded the military here, and they may publicly say that they don't want the military to be in charge. They want a democratically led government, but that's not true. They want to be able to be Myanmar's only friend, to be able to control what they want to do. And so there's those politics involved, and then also this is not like the U.S. where it's like almost 50-50 split politically. This is a very clear cut, like 85 to 90% of the country are opposed to this, and so this is a democratic country that voted for its leadership with a landslide victory. And the military has stolen that election from the people. And so I just want to make that very clear. There's no confusion at who's the leader of the country or whatever. This has been a stolen election. And so I hear a lot from people like, oh, it's like the United States, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not at all.
No,
it's not the same. It's not the same at all. The people here are very much against what's happening here. All of them. So,
No, that is good to know. America has the United States has an unfortunate tendency to just compare everything to us, and it does seem very different. I am
yes.
honored. We've had a late Jake Doctor, the person who's arranged the GoFundMe, is here. I'm going to add him to the stream. Hi there. Thank you for your patience, Jake. Welcome.
Oh, no worries. Good to see you, Laura. Ryan,
Hey, man.
good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too. You look good. That beard's awesome.
Doing what I can. Nora, thanks for being here tonight and sharing the stories I've been listening in about the concerns for friends and people, and we're sending our thoughts and prayers and anger and sadness and everything your way.
Definitely. And I mean, I was kind of wrapping up, but if you have anything else, Jake, that you wanted to ask or talk about.
No, I mean, you've covered most of the questions, and it's amazing to hear. I was a little bit late putting the kids to bed. Did you chat at all about any of the various tactics, the kind of creativity that people are using in the streets and stuff like that?
Yeah, we talked about that. A bit,
Nice.
yeah.
That's been really amazing to see for me to see the various forms of civil disobedience, right? That there's direct action, but then there's also the kind of different ways that people are finding ways to support with the Sarong protests. And I was reading an article about people pretending to spill onions in the street so it looks like they're just cleaning up things and not blocking the road, finding unique ways to protest and to shut things down.
That one's actually really funny. What Jake's mentioning is people did a all country car breakdown. So they broke down all the cars in all the major roads, and the roads were just full of cars that were broke down.
Oh my God.
And people were doing what he was saying also, they would cross the street and drop things and act like they're picking things up to just block traffic. And so, they're trying to do a lot of different creative things to just slow things down here. So, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, there's a funny picture of a policeman talking to a guy with his hood up, and the police trying to move all the cars out of the way. But you can see the frustration on their faces. As they looked around, there's hundreds of cars parked in the middle of the main road going through Yangon.
That's incredible.
It's pretty funny.
So creative.
Mm.
Completely peaceful resistance in a way that sounds incredibly effective. Just slowing down in every way. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
yeah, and then where are we at now for the GoFundMe?
let's find out. Hold on one second.
I should have the link here, but it's not.
I should have prepped this also, and I did not.
We'll get to it.
Oh goodness, we're doing great. We are at 9,400, so that is amazing. Let's
wow, that is awesome.
Real quick. So we're almost halfway to the $20,000 goal here, which is fantastic.
Wow, that's amazing.
I bet you with the amazing
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
The amazing community and stuff here, I bet you we can hit 10 grand tonight.
I bet that's true.
No doubt. We'll push it and get people sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you all for, I can't imagine the kind of courage that it must take to stand up to live ammunition and a really very serious military coup like this. And I don't know. I just think it's wonderful. And I think I don't know. Thoughts and prayers are not sufficient, but you have both of mine. So, and hopefully a lot of money as well. So.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
One other question I had was, we're going to get the links from both for you to kind of share out for people to follow Did we talk about other amazing folks or people to follow that they could recommend?
There's a news site called Myanmar Now, and they just got raided like 2 days ago. Obviously, nobody's in the office, but they just got raided a couple days ago. And then also DVB, which is a Democratic Voice of Burma. They are telling the truth. So Myanmar Now, DVB, Irrawaddy News as well. Those are Myanmar Mix as well. So there's a handful of news sources. They're on Facebook. They're also tweeting. Yeah, you can look them up. They have really good up-to-date stuff. Right now, they're trying to be very quick and updating by the hour what's happening in Yangon, and other places.
We're also making a trend with what's happening now in Myanmar, hashtag what happening now in Myanmar. So you can search that on Twitter and also on Instagram, and also hashtag Save Myanmar. So something like that might help. And we're posting a lot on Instagram too. Yeah.
I'm too old for Instagram, so that's why I didn't mention Instagram.
Right. Same here.
Ryan and I are spreading the news on our AOL accounts and our MySpace.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, I still have dial-up.
Oh wow. That's a great list. I've just thrown some of that up in the chat, and we'll put it in the YouTube description after this stream ends, so people can stay up to date on how things are going.
Sure.
Jake, you got anything else, or?
No, it's amazing to see being close to 50% of our goal. I think we'll hit that tonight. We're working to get the funding to Ryan as quickly as we can to be able to purchase those supplies. Ryan, since I'm late, did you kind of talk about how we're going to be using the funds that we're raising and some of the resources that are potentially needed?
Yeah, I mentioned that we'll be using it for protective equipment. So a lot of students are getting tear gassed, and so they need proper gas masks, and then helmets as well. They're rubber bullets. They're also doing headshots, like the military is trying to shoot people in the head. So I know helmets are going to be deterrent, but not maybe 100% effective. But at least it will protect them in some way from some of the stuff that's happening to them. And then we're going to be supporting protesters with food as much as we can to allow them to continue to protest.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. We had a lot of similar activity here over the summer with our police, in a different aspect, but headshots and trying to get helmets to people to protect from batons, as well as shooting supposedly less lethal rounds at people. We have a few comrades who are hospitalized and all sorts of issues. So we've seen it. Hopefully it's something that people can help with. And, hopefully one thing that I've seen too is a lot of folks translating documents into the various, languages for people on the ground there, from Hong Kong protest documents, and sharing things from some places. We had some folks here in Portland that had helped develop like some zines and resources how to build shields that I had sent along for translation. So it's really amazing to see kind of the scrappiness and channel of people getting information out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of posting. Yeah, there's a lot of posting here on DIY stuff for shields and stuff like that. So they've gotten quite advanced now with the shields, and so there's quite a. They're also doing training on how to do put the shields together against baton attacks and stuff like that. So you can see some videos online of Myanmar people doing their practicing of putting their shields together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. We had some people here that ended up taking connecting hockey sticks on one end and lacrosse sticks on the other end to be able to return the canisters of tear gas at law enforcement.
Oh, geez.
And it's really amazing and incredible to see the like community come together. And we had a group called Dad Block who came in with all of their like power blowers, like leaf blowers, to blow the tear gas back at law enforcement. And all of a sudden there was like multiple people in their vests. So if there's a market for leaf blowers in Myanmar, get it out to some people. It was actually strangely effective.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a leaf blower here. Nora, are there leaf blowers in Myanmar?
No. Not yet, maybe.
As far as I could tell, the only good use for a leaf blower is to blow tear gas back at cops. I don't think that blowing leaves. Anyway, I have a lot of opinions about leaf blowers, but they are good for this one thing.
Yeah, exactly. They're annoying in my neighborhood, but they're perfect for tear gas dispersal.
Well, thank you so much to all of you for coming on. Anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're really grateful for the fundraising. Yeah. So we're just thinking about what other country will help us, because we're actually helpless right now because they are with the guns and we have nothing at all. So yeah. So people are thinking about, is UN gonna come? But that's just a dream, you know, or any other organization will come and help us, and we're just thinking about that. But yeah, just it's really grateful to see that you guys are doing a lot of things to help us in other ways. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to thank you guys for having us on, and for the people that have donated so far. We really appreciate it, and even like small amounts of money from a lot of different people make a lot of money. So if people have $10 or $20 they can throw in, that's super helpful, and that can feed a few people here in Myanmar. That might not be a lot in the U.S. Could be, one time going to, like, I'm trying to think of a appropriate Portland establishment to eat at, but the $20 in Portland is probably not a lot, actually, because it's probably expensive in Portland. But in Myanmar, $20 can feed like 10 people.
Yes.
A meal. So depending on the meal, of course, but it can definitely feed 10 people.
Well, thank you. Everyone watching, please consider donating. And if you're not in a position to, consider maybe sharing the charity, keeping up with what's going on over there, telling people about it. This is not something that we should be ignoring. I think the world needs to continue to be aware that this is going on, and just really stand with the people that are just putting their lives on the line to fight oppression and this undemocratic, unconstitutional, unjust coup. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Jake. We appreciate it.
Maybe we can reconnect another week or two and kind of check in with y'all, and
That'd be great.
keep us informed. Reach out to us. Let us know what we can do to help if anything changes, and then maybe we can find another time to kind of check back in, continue the relationship.
Sure.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sounds great. Have a wonderful night, or to you too, a wonderful day, everyone.
Wonderful day. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, friend.
Thank you.